We know that AI, artificial intelligence, is really big right now. That's an understatement. It is changing the way we work. And yet in business, we find that it's doing a lot, and we have something even more important than that. And that something is relationship marketing. But if you can use AI to empower your relationship marketing, that's where you can really succeed. We're going to do that in this video, showing you what you can do. And by we, I mean me, myself, Terry Brock, and my lovely and talented partner and business partner here and fiance, Gina Carr. Gina, how you doing today?
I'm doing just great. Delighted to be here to talk about this important subject.
Yeah, it's really important because, I've been talking about relationship marketing for years and the importance of that, but now we've got AI turbocharging that, doing that even better. What are your thoughts on how those kind of blend together from the 35,000 feet point of view?
Well, a big part of AI for thought leaders and business leaders is using AI tools to help you do things better, cheaper, faster than you could do without them. And so that's what a lot of the AI tools that will help us with relationship marketing will do. So, as it relates to marketing, growing your business, and focusing on relationships, because all marketing is human to human. And so we really want to focus on that. And I love the way that there are tools that are helping us create those human connections even faster and stronger.
Yeah, exactly. The tools are really good. You and I have been using tools for a long time, but there's one that we've used for quite a bit that's now getting some good AI capabilities in it. Looks pretty good, and it's Loom. Loom is a great little tool that's wonderful for shooting a video that you can then send to someone. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen with Loom and the business benefits of that.
Well, Loom is something you've been teaching for quite a while, and I've been using, and so it's wonderful for communicating one to one or one to a small group where you can do a quick video, send out a link. In general, you're not talking about a real high quality production type video about policies, procedures, introductions, thank yous, those sorts of things. So it's very easy to create, and I love that they have added some AI tools in particular that help to eliminate or remove your ums and ahs and the silences that you would have in a typical video. That makes it sound human, yes, but it also sounds more professional and easier on the ear when you can remove those things with a quick, easy editing tool that Loom now provides.
Yeah, I think it's really nice that they give us that ability to eliminate or like I think like we could like do that, maybe like we could do this, like, those kind of words that people will throw in there so much it's just infuriating. And you think, okay, that's nice that they can change that. They can also help you with the title. They listen to the content that you have, and then they go in there and they say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this title, the words that you say, and create an appropriate title that you can accept or not. You don't have to take it. I think that's good, and they're adding more and more. We were looking at the features that are coming, and we can't talk about things that are coming. Who knows what will be there or what won't be. But I would encourage you to get over to Loom. Take a look at that. It's got some really nice features that are built into it, and start thinking about, why would we use Loom anyway? Well, one of the real benefits I see, Gina, I'd want to get your feedback on this as well. When you see a Loom video from someone, it's more human. It's more relationship marketing. It's about connecting with a real person. I know that is really that person talking to me, at least until we see too much AI that's giving us fake IDs and fake people on there. But right now we can see this really is the person. It's not a form letter. It's not something they've sent out. Gina, what are your thoughts on that and the whole idea of using Loom for building relationship marketing?
Well, as much as I like text introductions, text emails, text messages, I can't really tell the tone of someone from a text message. And so I could read the email, but if I could see a Loom video, which conveys so much more, it conveys million times more information than just a single text or even a picture. It really gets the, as you guys are watching right now, you can see, you get a feel for my personality, you get a feel for whether I'm somebody you'd like to do business with or not. And that's a big part of what you get with a Loom video, a Loom system.
Yeah, I think that's really important. The key is that we're going to customize it. You mentioned pictures. Other tools that were really good is get a picture of people. When you could take the picture of someone, you hear what they're doing, you see what they're doing. You can say, hey, this is the picture I remember from our time we got together last March when we were there. You're customizing it and you're using relationship marketing. Is that AI? Well, not necessarily, but you can do a lot with AI in creating other pictures. So you could create a picture that might look similar to that. Using DALL-E 3, for example, with ChatGPT, you can talk the pictures into existence that you might want. So this way you're able to create those kind of customized tools that really make it a lot better. And the fact that you can tailor it to someone is even better. The more you can do that, the better off you're going to be. And I would recommend using those pictures for a lot of different tools and others. Gina, what are some other ways that we could use AI to really customize it for individuals to build our relationship marketing?
Well, I think that using the tools like ChatGPT or Bard to do research on the people that you're going to be interacting with in advance. I think that Bard is probably better for that because I've learned that Bard is stronger for as a search AI tool versus ChatGPT, which is more for reasoning, thinking. It's better for creating copy and for writing and brainstorming and that sort of thing. But if I were going to be meeting with someone, doing a quick Bard search, even more so than a Google search, is good preparation for that meeting.
Yeah, I think so. That would be very important. And matter of fact, there's another tool that we discovered. Gina, I was showing this to you just this morning that I discovered yesterday. And it's a great tool that takes the DISC model, the DISC, that analyzes personalities. I don't know that as well, but I've heard about it. I know a lot of people like that. It gives you the ability to know more about someone by taking a test. Well, what it does is it goes out to LinkedIn and other places. And if let's say you've got a hot prospect, someone who's really interested, they've expressed interest in your service, in your product, and could work with you, you can use this tool called Crystal Knows. They sometimes go by just Crystal, like the lady's name, Crystal, 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 and then Knows, Knows, is where you'd find out information. Well, I tried it a little bit in the free version, and so I'm not an expert on this, and I can only speak about some things generally because I'm using their free version right now, which gives me 10 profiles. I can go over to LinkedIn, for instance, to my profile and see what it's like. And Gina, I went over to your profile as well when I got a chance this morning and showed you a little bit of that. It showed the kind of person that it said you were. I would be interested in your feeling. Was it accurate when it talked about you and the descriptions that it gave?
I would say it was fairly accurate. It described me as being a motivator, an I on the DISC model, an influencer, motivator. And I would say, based on what I read, it was fairly accurate. Hit me with the big picture. Don't get into details with me too early on in a conversation. I might want details later, but I don't generally want details in the beginning. And I want the big picture. I want the information fast. I'm probably going to make a fairly quick decision. And so I think it was fairly accurate about me. And I looked at it about you, and it did tell me some things about you that looked like it was pretty accurate as well. Interestingly, it had us both as being very similar, which I can see. I can see. I mean, you and I
Yeah.
know each other very well, so we know there are definitely a lot of differences, but it did have us both in the same basic category as a motivator. And duh, that's basically our business. So I think it's pretty accurate in that regard.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see that. And I thought, but that, for instance, with me, it said, don't start with the details, have the big picture first. I think that's true of most anybody, whatever it is. If I walk in saying, I've got an option here for you to purchase this, and on paragraph 3, section 2, it talks about da da da, you're going to go, what in the world is that for? We need to look at the big picture first. I think that's most everyone. So I'm still a little bit skeptical of that. The jaded journalist in me is going, well, maybe this is okay. I don't know. And if anyone with Crystal knows is out there watching this, hey, it looks like you got a good program. I don't know that much. I want to learn more. And it looks good. One thing I did notice about it though, Gina, as I was looking at that, if you want to get it, I got the one free. The next step up is $49 a month, which means $50, which means $600 for the year that is paid immediately. And you only get 200 profiles. So $600 for 200 profiles. I guess that's okay, but I can see if you're going beyond that, you might need a little bit more. But then I don't know, it might be okay. Gina, what are your thoughts on even just the pricing of that?
It seems like it's a pretty big jump, and $600 for only 200 profiles seems a little bit out of sync. I would like to see something that either a lower price option to really get you in there and get you to try it, and or if at the higher price to provide more than 200 profiles, because as you said, you have 10, you've already gone through almost all 10 in just a few hours. So
Yeah.
it doesn't go very far.
Exactly. I can see if you come back with several cards from a convention you go to. Not unusual to have 10, 20, 50, 100, depending on where you are. You could easily go through that. But then I guess also the case could be made, well, if you're making more than $200 by getting even one person, then that could be worth it. So yeah, from a business point of view, I could see it that way. It would be good. But you know, there's another tool that's out there. Gina, you and I both know about these that are available. Our old buddy, ChatGPT, and also Perplexity works really well, and Claude. Those are really good, and I think we can do a lot of research on that. You have done a lot of that also, Gina. What ways have you used those tools, the ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude type of tools, to do research and to get to know people better?
Well, I'm constantly using those tools to understand people's business better. If I'm thinking of talking with a prospect, or if I'm planning to speak with a prospect, I can do some quick inquiry into their field and into how content marketing, which is the main area of marketing I focus on, how they can use content marketing for their business. And so then I can look and see, well, what are they doing already? And then if there's a big gap, then I know the opportunity where I can really help them. So it's been a terrific tool for doing research to help people with their marketing needs.
Yeah, I would think very much so. Matter of fact, I remember when we first heard this thing called Google. It was when it first came out, and I was talking about that. It would be very important if you're going on a sales call to Google the company, Google the person that you're looking for. Still good advice today, but I would say now crank it up a couple notches. Use ChatGPT, use Perplexity, even Bard, which is from Google, and we'd want to make sure that that is working really well and we're getting information for that. But also, I would say be careful. Be careful, because if you say, oh, it told me this with ChatGPT about Jane Smith, that might not be the same Jane Smith. That might not be Jane Smith as she is today. It might have been what happened a little while ago that is no longer the case. So never take what you get just face value from those search engines. I've seen some problems with ChatGPT as well as Perplexity. It's not so much that they did anything wrong. It's just the data is there. Don't trust that data to be the only thing that you're going to use, and make sure that you're remaining flexible on that. So I think all of that kind of comes together and really works. But one thing I think more than anything we need to be aware of is this is about relationship marketing, and it's about the people, which is far more important than the technology. I think that we've seen great technology, Gina. It works really well, but it's even more important to focus on the human side. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, absolutely. That's what's most important. You want to be able to really connect with people. You want them to be interested in what you're doing. You want to be interested in what they're doing. You want to have more fun in life. And for me, fun is definitely and directly related a lot to people, the people that I get to know, the people that inspire, entertain, inform me. And so I believe that we can use AI tools to do a lot of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what we want to do is really remember what's called the platinum rule. Now, the platinum rule is some that's a little different than the golden rule. This was conceived by Tony Alessandra, a good friend of mine, and he has done this for years. It really makes a lot of sense. The golden rule is very good. We know that. We learned that long ago, that you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That same idea is communicated in many, many different religions around the world throughout time. Don't do something that harms another if you didn't want them to harm you. And so don't take their stuff, they won't take your stuff. You know, is kind of the ideal and the way to do that. But the platinum rule goes beyond that. The golden rule said, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's forcing me. Like, for instance, I might like to ride my unicycle. So then if I were to say, hey, everyone should ride a unicycle because I like to, and I'll send them a unicycle, that wouldn't work. No, that is for me. The platinum rule says, do unto others as they would have you do unto them. You find out about them. You find out what really helps them, what they're looking for. And that is important. Matter of fact, one of the things I was thinking of and that I came up with, and Gina, I think you'd be interested in this, I said if somebody were to give us, they said, gee, Terry and Gina, you're wonderful people. We're going to get you a $400 steak dinner at the best steakhouse there in Orlando where you are. And I think there's a real good one we went to just recently across the street from us called Morton's. Great steakhouse, but we're vegan. So all the steak that they had didn't quite work with us. We were there with some friends, but Morton's also had plenty of wonderful food that I found delicious that fit a vegan diet. So the key would be you want to find out what works for the people you're trying to impress. That means you got to do your research. That means these tools here can really help. And I think that is the way we blend AI with the time-honored principles of relationship marketing together. Gina, what are your closing thoughts on this as we kind of wind things down here?
Well, I think the main thing that we can do is to use these tools to help us establish the relationships and to be in community with people who are constantly looking at these tools. In Stark Raving Entrepreneurs, our program, that's one of the things people love about it, is that we're constantly out there telling them about new tools they can use, giving them an opportunity to test them and to compare notes with each other. So you can't figure all this out on your own. Terry and I are constantly looking at new tools and filtering them for how they relate to business leaders and sharing them with the members of our community. And so I think that that's one of the best things you could do so that you can test them out with other people and get ideas and share.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Gina, I always appreciate you being with us today. And any day that you come by, it's really good. Thanks for being here with me today. And for
Thank you,
those of you
Terry.
that are joining us, we really appreciate you joining us here. And we've got a lot of good for you waiting. And the idea of what we have is live and let live here at Stark Raving Entrepreneurs. The idea is that you do what you want to do. You don't harm others. You don't take their stuff. It's something that we like to call the NAP, the non-aggression principle. You don't initiate force against others. Now, if they're initiating force, or it looks like they're going to, you have a high degree of likelihood they're going to, yes, you go ahead and you stop them using what needs to be done to do that. But the NAP, I think, really sums it up. And that's what we cover here. So come on over and see us at starkravingentrepreneurs.com. You go over there, you can find out about all the tools that we have, things like that. And wherever you're catching this, whether it's on video or audio only, we'd love to hear from you and share this and like this and share it. Follow us here, whatever the platform is you're on, and subscribe. That'll let the wacky algorithms know, hey, people like this idea of peace and taking care of each other in a really good way and doing it the right way, making sure that we are living peacefully all the time. So also, we've got something for you here, AI Tools for Biz, a free gift that is available for you. We've got a QR code there that you can use, and you can get information on ChatGPT, Canva, DALL-E 3, the newest one there, Udly, a great tool for as a speech coach to help you learn from an AI what you're doing right and what needs to be done. We also see a lot of other tools that we're mentioning there with Lexica.art, OpenAI, who is the people that own ChatGPT and DALL-E 3, as well as Stable Diffusion, and more resources are being added continually. So bounce over there and see that. If you are watching this on video, there's a good QR code you can use, and just go over to AI Tools for the number 4 biz.com. AIToolsForBiz.com, and that'll help you get with it. So we would like to stay in touch with you. Let us know what you think about AI and relationship marketing, how they're working, and what can be done. And to find out even more, we've got a video waiting for you right over here on how you can start implementing AI right away. This is something that can help you a lot. On behalf of Gina Carr, I'm Terry Brock. Thanks for being with us today.